I want to have a little talk about some copium again, because we've been hoping a hell of a lot, huffing on that hopium. There's a couple of reasons what I wanted to talk about it again here for. It's not necessarily any, like, new announcements, really. It's just to kind of talk about some stuff that the community's talking about. It kind of got me thinking, hey, you know, is there some crumbs I can feed to the little hopium gremlin at the back of my brain, you know? So we could start banging the tambourine to get those endorphins flying and make me feel a little bit better about Arknights Endfield actually getting a beta soon and releasing soon. But I've got a post here on r/Endfield, Arknights CN OBT. But this is about obviously the open beta test for Arknights. Now, I think the reason they're talking about this is obviously we've got these rumors of the potential beta test coming soon on the Hypergryph bulletin API, right? This is like a service they use to push out information, and that's been updated. And it says CBT3, but apparently the people in the know are saying it's actually an open test with payments enabled, right? It's CBTs in a lot of companies, even if they're open beta tests. That's just a terminology they use, right, in their internal side of things. But apparently, it's going to be an open beta test with payments. That typically means, for gacha games, right, if there's payments enabled, it's usually the final test, right? Now, I think even without the idea of the payments enabled, I think if we was getting another beta, I think most people would be assuming it's probably the final test, just because of how polished and how well done the previous test was, right? If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. Because it was well done, right? The game felt finished, really. Apart from a few little things, mainly the story, if anything, but it felt finished in terms of a beta. It was in a good spot, right? So let's have a look at these posts. Then we'll have a look at some more copium here. Then we'll have a look at this as well in the Endfield cameo at the New York City Arknights concert. Now, I do believe this was the original beta trailer, right? It looked like there was some things that were a little bit different in it, though, but I don't know if I'm tripping or my memory's just terrible. But you'll have to let me know in the comments as well if it was exactly the same one. But it was just weird that that was thrown in there as well. You know, like the beta trailer was thrown in there in that. Kind of weird. Maybe it was just used for a transitional purpose, but still something to think about if you're huffing on the hopium anyway, right? We got to get it. We got to get it. So let's have a look at this then. Arknights CN OBT. Y'all, I found something you might want to see. This is an OBT test announcement made years ago before Arknights CN released on the 1st of May 2019. The OBT was conducted for approximately a month, according to ChatGPT. I'm sure of the exact dates. Yeah, ChatGPT never gets anything wrong. However, there are some similarities. It is an OBT and a paid OBT. Is that true? You guys will have to let me know. Was the final open test for Arknights a paid open beta test? Was he? And what did we saw yesterday, everyone? That's right, the upcoming beta testing is an open beta test and a paid open beta test. If we are to believe, like I said, I didn't see any API information that mentioned that it was a paid OBT, but apparently it is. I didn't go into the Telegram group because sometimes I just don't fuck with Telegram sometimes. There's too many nefarious stuff going on in Telegram, if I'm honest. I haven't used it for quite a while now. Last time I probably used Telegram was like 2020. So Arknights campaign to ended on April 8th and full release on May 1st. Okay, I don't think there's somebody who speaks English as a first language. So if Endfield OBT3, or the open beta test, ends on, let's say, somewhere near Gamescom 24th of August 2025, and assuming Hypergryph decided to stick it to the old Arknights format, not really reliable, hey, it's the same company, launch will be around October/November. A lot of people keep coming out with this October date, right? Like, I had a lot of people in my comments saying that they think the game is going to be coming in October. And as I say, this information with this, like, paid beta, it does kind of lend credence to it, right? Like, I've kind of been in the idea that the game is definitely coming next year and it's going to be early next year, right? Or, that being said, typically, betas that come with payments enabled are usually really close to the launch of the game, because you can't really be expecting people to spend on a beta and then wait 6 months or more to get their rebates, right? You're not really going to get many people buying into it, are you? Obviously, recent betas that did this, if you remember, Ethereum Restart did it. I do believe Honkai Star Rail did it as well, didn't they? I've had people tell me that Wuthering Waves did it as well. I think this was all just for CN though. So this might only be on the CN side of things unless they do go down the Ethereum restart route and, like, you know, they do it everywhere and they do rebates, which if they do, we will be there. We will be there. I don't usually do it. I didn't do it for the Ethereum restart, but hey, I want to fund the Endfield development, right? So I'll probably spend a little bit, especially if I get a double rebate. You know, if I can spend 30, 40 quid on the game and I get 80 quid back on launch, you best believe your boy's doing it, right? I don't suggest anybody ever does that, really, but I'll do it. I'll do it so you don't have to. So yeah, I'm making a pretty big assumption with this one, that his Endfield will follow the same release timeline style with Arknights, and the recent leak is legit. What are your thoughts? So, this recent leak, right? It's not even like it's really a leak. Like, the API was updated, and it did acknowledge CBT3, and it did mention CN, EU, US. It was updated, right? That's not like people made that up. That actually happened. So, the fact that that happened does kind of lead to think, well, it's not as far stretched. We've got all this marketing going on, right? We're building up to something. So, I don't even think it's that wild of copium, honestly, to think there's going to be a beta. Now, is it going to be open? I don't know. Is it going to be paid? I don't know. That definitely feels a little bit more potentially copium. Or the actual idea that there's going to be a beta, I don't think it's a massive stretch. If I'm honest, I don't think it's a massive stretch. But it's data about no, it's a front-facing API, basically. It's not like people have gone into, like, game files. It's nothing to do with the game files or anything like that. So, you know, they usually push updates on that, usually when something's getting announced. So it's like you can publicly access the stuff. But it's got nothing to do with, like, people diving into game codes or anything like that, like, you know. But then again, we have to put a dampener on it. I said this in the other video. This could be for another build that's going on at a show. But that being said, all the other builds that have been shown off at shows, I think, have just been using the CBT2 build. So it'd be a bit weird for them to do another build for something else, unless it's specifically around the PlayStation build. But if you put in PlayStation as a platform as well, you get return results. So it seems like there's two. There's results for PC and there's results for PlayStation as well. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Again, nothing's confirmed, right? But it seems too much of a coincidence, right? All this marketing, this happening. I don't know. I'm huffing on the copium, but at the same time, like, I don't even think it's a massive stretch, right? I don't even think it's a massive stretch. But yeah, as I say, again, still things like this, right? This, I think the footage they used was from the initial, well, the CBT2 trailer, right? I could have swore there was stuff that was different in it. I'm sure, I don't remember this scene from it, but again, I'm kind of working off memory here. We're not going to go back and watch it. You guys can, and you can let me know that if it is slightly different. It's definitely parts of that anyway. So it's not a new trailer. But even if it's not a new trailer, right, every frame is exactly the same, right? It's a bit weird that they're throwing that in specifically. Now, it might be just that they wanted some B-roll. Maybe I'm overthinking it, right? But they could have found lots of gameplay just from the beta, right? And just trailers and stuff. It's a bit weird that they specifically seem to use the trailer for the beta. So, you know, this is definitely a big reach. This is a breach, right? This could just have been you know, somebody threw some stuff in the background for some B-roll and that was it, right? You know, that was it. But who knows? But let's have a look at this one here then. This is from the same person who posted this. Let's see what they got. I can feel it. Okay. Let's drop all the coat for a moment here and let's not do that. Let's not do that. I enjoy it. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, guys. Bear with me. Let's go through what we know so far. 1. Arknights will be attending China Joy August 1st to August 4th. We know this. There's going to be a PlayStation stream. We know this. Special announcement on August 3rd. I didn't know that. Leak has been revealed. Reputable or not, I don't know. But evidence was provided. So, Arknights will be attending Gamescom 20th to the 24th of August. Okay, what if we get an announcement of a beta? What if potentially it's closed and then sign-ups begin from August 4th and then the beta starts around Gamescom? Or if it's just open, they just drop it. They just drop it, right? They're like, beta's coming. look out very soon. And then Gamescom, the beta drops potentially, right? Arknights' newest CCB is literally called Arklight. Other people have spoke about this as well. Enfield cameo in ambient synthesia and in the New York thingy. Enfield advertisement on the damn subway. Lots and lots of events have already been attended. Expos, merch being sold. And most importantly, near future, deep breath of copium. Something is happening. Something is definitely happening. I agree. And don't expect it to go downhill from here, I'm telling you. Once that damn CBT, OBT drops, Enfield will be everywhere. Your mom, your lecturer, the billboard, even your damn dog will be talking about Enfield. Huffs. Don't stock up too much on copium yourself. Hypergryph will be giving you plenty in the coming months. No, days. I like these. I like these. I like these posts, man. I like you. I feel you, brother. I feel you. I'm with you. I am huffing on the copium. The naysayers can naysay. I am a believer. I believe in the Hypergryph church, and I believe they're gonna usher in a sermon, and we are gonna be there to bathe in the glory of Enfield very soon, guys. Okay. Madman rambling. But yeah, honestly, like, all jokes aside, right? It's not a far stretch, right? I know a lot of people are like, there's not going to be another beta. I'd like to know the reasoning for that. And the reason I think there will, because I think a lot of people like the beta was, you know, the game was fucking polished as fuck. True. Definitely true. But we do know, and it wasn't just in EU and Western, or in EN, should I say, sorry. It was in CN. There was a lot of conversations regarding the changes from the previous test to CBT, right? There was a big conversation, not just Homebrew. This was ongoing. JP, CN, a lot of people were talking about this. Now, whatever side of the fence you're on doesn't really matter. It's the conversation was there. Hypergryph responded by saying, you know, changes potentially are going to happen. We're looking at things, right? It kind of makes sense that there would be another beta implementing some of those changes. Basically a pre-launch version of the game with payments enabled as well, to stress all of those systems also would kind of make sense. Because like I had people commenting on my video saying games don't do that. Well, name a mobile game that's had payments enabled in the beta. I'm like, brother, like, do you not look at other sort of like so yeah, I don't think it's a massive reach, man. I don't think it's a massive reach, and I think it makes sense for them to roll another beta out to just test the water, right? And then if it's a massive backlash from the player base, then they can potentially delay the game. But if there's payments enabled, I just can't see it being too long from the test to the game launching, because I don't think many people are going to want to spend 50, 100 quid on the game and then wait 6 months to get their money back, right? Or to be able to enjoy the fruits of their spending, I guess. But I guess we'll see. We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. I am very much intrigued. I'm keeping my ear to the ground at the minute, guys. I don't care how much copium I have to huff. I am breathing it. I'm living and breathing the copium at the moment, and I'm going to continue to do so until the game drops or until we get a beta. And then when it does, you ain't going to hear the end of it from me, because I'm going to be like, I told you so. I freaking told you so, you know? But yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think about these guys. Do you think we're getting an open beta? Do you think we're getting a paid beta? Do you think it's happening? Do you think the game's coming this year? Do you think it's going to be next year? Is the game even real? Does it exist? Who knows? I'd love to know your thoughts.